What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Summit. I'm Antonio Perez, joined as always by Daniel Coale, DC, UPenn's finest, Chris Coulter, CV Coach Boy. We got another great episode for you guys today. Unlike the rest of the world, and everybody else is probably talking about the Luka Doncic trade, we're going to do things a little backwards. The first episode this week is going to be our Super Bowl preview, as you can see in the title. And then later in the week, hopefully when more trades are breaking down, we just got
the show
to San Antonio. Hopefully more trades start to break down, and we'll discuss a lot of the trade deadline stuff this Thursday. And heads up, we may mix in a little mailbag. So, if you have any questions, drop them below. Of course, we'll go post on Instagram, Twitter. That way you guys can ask ahead. Any questions you may have on the NBA, they'll be answered Thursday. But today is all about Super Bowl 59, Eagles, Chiefs. We'll be breaking down the Eagles' plan to victory, Chiefs' plan to victory, the tail of the tape, which teams got the better units, and then give our predictions, of course. Remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications so you don't miss a single upload from every great show on this network. And head on over, do the same thing on our OG channel, and then audio listeners do all the usual. But Danny, let's get it kicked off. Summits and Plummets. Yeah. We missed you last episode, man. We missed you.
Yes, dude. The Summits and Plummets it's usually about something that happened. My summit is looking forward to the next 10 days. It's beautiful. Look, once we finish this weekend, it's nothing but Eagles Chiefs. It's nothing but the finality of one of the best football seasons I can remember. There were so many elite moments this year, and I think the Saquon Barkley hurdle probably tops it off. I'm sorry. That moment probably is the coolest moment I've ever seen in sports. But my real summit outside of it's gonna be a double summit. Is gonna be that my favorite player just got traded to play with one of my other favorite players.
Yeah, it's crazy, and we'll certainly give more thoughts later this week. Absolutely, because
I'm just shocked.
Yeah.
We were drinking when I posted on the story. I was like, I'm so confused, but that's still my reaction sober, and that's how you know it's crazy.
No,
honestly, when you have the same reaction sober, and you're like, why am I so confused about what's going on with why did I just trade my 2025 MacBook for a 2015 MacBook?
That's the craziest part about the trade, bro. We're acting like AD is Hassan Whiteside. AD is a top 10 player in the NBA.
I won't let that happen.
Look, and the Mavericks are going to still be good.
Better.
Maybe better.
I think
sure. For now,
not better.
For now,
I don't think better. They're a way better team right now.
Wait, Chris, I'm with you. They're a better team. They're a better team. Will they do anything?
This team will not go to the NBA Finals.
I agree with that.
That is how I measure success.
Well, I won't say that. I won't say it. Outside of the Thunder,
they got their ass kicked in the NBA Finals.
And I wonder why.
You could run any, and the only team in the league in the West this year that could even stack to that last year's Boston team would be the Thunder. So.
What was the biggest reason they got whiz ass up in the finals?
They couldn't play.
What would have helped? What would have helped?
Defense, a power forward, not named Maxi Kleba.
You know what, Chris? You could say Luka.
They're not in the finals without Luka, though.
That is true. Again, but we're going down the rabbit hole. The Celtics won because
it's an idiot trade, bro. I think the Celtics trading Jaylen Brown right now for Embiid.
Not entirely opposed, but anyway, let's move on to Chris.
I would do it in an instant. Sorry.
Yes. Well, moving on to me. My summit and plummet really just revolves around the trade. My summit is seeing everybody's tears, especially everybody in Dallas's tears, because this is hilarious. When I had my game today, and I went to go play basketball yesterday, most people that I hoop with are like Dallas natives, so they're like Dallas fans by default. And to just see the sadness, it cracks me up. It actually cracks me up only because I've never seen a full everybody be blindsided. Not just the team, not just media. Nobody's seen it coming, and I think it's so funny. And I think my plummet, like I said, my plummet really revolves around the trade because I'm watching people talk about Anthony Davis like he's not Anthony Davis, and it's really irritating me. Only in the sense it's like, bro. But and also on top of that, another plummet is Luka's gonna get that LA hate now. So now all the love he was getting at first about how he can be a one-man team, watch it get flipped. So I hate that for Luka as well, because not only do you get blindsided by a trade, you get traded to a place that the media and almost every casual fan hates. So now you'll get double hate for no reason. Like I don't know if y'all been seeing, everybody's finally telling the truth about Anthony Davis, how they really feel now. Charles Barkley has done nothing but crap on Anthony Davis for 5 years.
He literally made Street Clothes Davis.
Literally.
He made it.
And if you watched him on TV yesterday, they traded for the best defensive big in the league, which we knew. They traded for one of the most versatile bigs in the league, which we knew already. So now all the bad thing, I just like that people are going to see the LA tax, not just in trades, but in player too. And I hate that for Luka because, like I said, you were in a place with Dallas where obviously the fans loved you. Clearly, I won't even say the front office. Nico Harrison didn't like him, I guess. But where you're universally loved, and you get to go to a place now where you're like probably going to be universally hated. So it's just a crazy situation overall. But like I said, it's my favorite time of the year. So it's a summit overall, just because like trade time, trade deadline in all sports, but especially basketball is my favorite because it's also unpredictable crap that's going to happen. And I think it's just fun for me.
No, absolutely. I would say, well, you didn't make this a plummet, so I will do it on your behalf. Max Christie is in your postal code, man. Definitely not happy for you.
Apparently, I'm the only person who was like not enamored with Max Christie, because everybody was like, "Oh, the Lakers did lose Max Christie," and then everybody, "Oh, we got Max Christie." So I guess I'm on the wrong side of history. I guess I'm gonna have to lock in and watch even closer than I have been, because I swear I've been watching. But I'll give him a chance. I guess IDK. I guess I've been wrong.
Maybe he looks better with your own eyes. I don't know. But yeah, the thing with AD is just like, I wonder how Jason Kidd will do it. Would he rather go Kyrie, Clay, PJ, AD, Gafford, and have Najee Marshall coming off the bench? I mean, that's what I would do. I'm very interested to see it. I can't wait for him to suit up. Not to try to go too much down the rabbit hole, that will all the X's and O's and how we think it will play out for the foreseeable future. That will definitely be broken down on Thursday. But just from an emotional standpoint, I feel so much for these players. Luka, that was supposed to be a Maverick for life. AD supposed to. It's just so. I'm blaming LeBron James for this all, actually. Here's what I'm going to do. AD was supposed to be the plan for after Bron. And Bron he was so good for so long that, like, AD never got the mantle.
Did y'all read that they said they weren't going to give him an extension? The Lakers weren't going to extend him?
I thought he just got an extension, though. Like,
so I guess he's up for extension this summer. And I read that the Lakers, another reason why they were not necessarily looking for, but why they were going to send AD is because they weren't going to extend him. I seen that too. I'm like, oh well, I guess you trade probably for depend what.
Yeah, I guess. But my summit,
your summit has to be the day that this episode drops is anniversary of the Eagles winning the Super Bowl, right?
I mean, I don't know that date off the top of my head. It's the best day of my life. Don't get me wrong. Until this Sunday.
When you hear something crazy,
when we do the dang thing, but
2/4/18 and 2/8/18 was the day of the parade, and I only know that because they changed our school Wi-Fi password to the day that we had off school, which was 2/8/18 back in high school. Chris,
I never had the school Wi-Fi, so
yeah, I don't know why I remember that, but our school Wi-Fi password was changed to like 2/8/18, which is the day we had off for the Eagles parade. So randomest thing I ever remember.
My summit is easily Celtics comeback yesterday. They were down 26. And then Jason Tatum showed you why he's one of the 5 best players who play the game of basketball on our planet right now. Third quarter, he brings them back with a quick 12. Fourth quarter, he has 13 points with, I think, 4 assists in the quarter alone. And just really has an argument for one of the best all-around player, has an argument for the best all-around player in our game, especially the development that he's made. if you were to turn on the 2022 finals and then you watch Jason Tatum now, the jump he has made passing out of the double teams, you cannot double team Jason Tatum.
With the sprained ankle, do not forget that did happen. I don't want people to forget that.
He had, I think he had an ankle injury, he had a wrist injury, and he messed up his shoulder against Miami.
Torn ligaments in the wrist, not just wrist injury. Torn ligaments.
Yeah, that. And then the shoulder was bad. The shoulder was bad too. But even so, I would say even the decision making wasn't great. It just sucks that 2 years later, the recipe's the same. We just have better role players now, so it's fine. But I just don't like other teams' mentality being like, make Jaylen Brown beat you. It's like, Jaylen Brown's going to get a bucket on every single possession, but sometimes it's not going to look pretty, and other guys aren't going to get involved. That's why yesterday was just, that's what a Celtics game should look like. Tatum high usage rate. Brown still gets 23 points. You get 17, 18 from KP and Derek White. Drew Holiday was horrible this game. In the fourth quarter, he looked like the best guard in basketball on the defensive end and was hitting threes. It was marvelous. I saw a tweet from Chris earlier, though. He was like, Jaylen Brown, like, slowly becoming, like, his most hated player.
Slowly.
Jaylen Brown stan, you know. Well, I want to say stan. I'm not defending him through like the delusional stuff like I would with Tatum, but Jaylen Brown, I'm still a big fan of his. Tyrese Maxey though, trying to bully Tyrese Maxey's probably the nicest player in the NBA.
That was
come on, like you're trying to be this enforcer. It's like, why?
Just hoop, bro. Like you're good at hoop.
Yeah, just play basketball, bro. We don't need an enforcer. I think that's another thing with why people be like, oh, Brown has more dog than Tatum. It's because
he does stuff like that.
Tatum gets text for yelling at refs and slamming the ball, but he'll never get a tech for getting into it with someone else. The most reaction I've ever seen someone get out of him was Georges Niang, and then Tatum was like, this guy, get off me.
My favorite sticker.
Favorite sticker. Get him out of here. Well, there is another basketball head that got a figure out of him. Coach K. Called him a soft St. Louis kick. You know you can't do that. But yeah, that's enough out of the Celtics, the bi-weekly Celtics ramble. Let's get into this Chiefs plan to victory. The Kansas City Chiefs are obviously going for a three-peat. It's never been done. No team has ever won 3 Super Bowls in a row. Chiefs are looking to do that. Danny, I want to start with you. What's the Chiefs' plan to victory? How do they beat Jalen Hurts and the Eagles and accomplish something that has never been done?
It's crazy. The Chiefs are favorites. I don't think they should be favored in this game. I know they won more games, and I know that they're the reigning champions, so they're going to be given you have to be favored. I think the Eagles are the better team, and the fact that since starting at 2-2 with some of their best players being injured and out in those 2 weeks. Granted, they went 2-2 to start the year. They have one loss, and it's to the Washington Commanders, where Jalen Hurts didn't finish and start the game. They're in a very similar shoes to the Kansas City Chiefs, if we want to be honest. After they install their full offense, they are a very similar spot. So the Chiefs' plan to victory should be to stop Saquon Barkley. Easier said than done. And look, I'm going to tell you this. It's not stopping Saquon Barkley. It's minimizing Saquon's big play ability and making Devontae Smith and look, AJ Brown's going to beat you. You can't stop that. If you can stop Devontae Smith and make Jahan Dotson win routes against you, I think you'll live. I think you'll live if you lose a Super Bowl and Jahan Dotson has 75 yards and two touchdowns. You'll live. You tried your best. Like, that's the reality for the Chiefs. Another thing on the offensive side of the ball, what I like to say for the Chiefs, they have one advantage. It's speed. Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown. Those two guys are, I don't know, I don't want to say kryptonite, but Darius Slay has struggled with speed in his career, especially at his age so far. I think he can handle it, especially with the too high shell that they've been given. But if the Chiefs can take advantage of the speed they have and cause turnover on Hurts like they did in the last Super Bowl, I think that's their plan to victory. Play clean football. Try to make the Eagles make a mistake, which they haven't made a mistake this postseason at all. So make a team that is playing lights out, make a mistake. Easier said than done.
I like that. Let me go to you, Chris. Same question. What is the Chiefs' plan to victory against, like what Danny said, a team that arguably has a better, I won't even say arguably. I think the Eagles do have the better roster, and we'll break down the tail of the tape later to back that up. But again, what do you think Mahomes and company have to do to accomplish history?
I've seen it in the movie before. All they gotta do is go to their hotel, grab some of Jalen Hurts' mustache hair, get a little bit of Saquon's hair off his head, drop it into a pot, put some of that magic in there, boom, game over, Chiefs win. That's my first thought. But in reality, what they can do,
Chris, they're gonna do this.
No, what I'm telling you right now, all you gonna see is Saquon come out there with an afro. Like, where'd that come from? You know, I told y'all what happened first. No, but in reality, I think the Chiefs got to do more of what they've been doing all year. I know it sounds crazy. Stone. Kinda. But I know it sounds crazy when we've been saying all year the Chiefs, well, not necessarily us, but people have been saying all year the Chiefs don't look the same and they don't do this and that, but they still only lost 2 games and all the games they won were still close games. I think you just keep the game close. I mean, the formula that's always worked for them, keeping the game close, making sure Patty has the ball last, live with the results. And I think that's especially what you have to do this time, because this is one of the times in recent memory where I can say, like, agree with Danny that the Chiefs maybe shouldn't be favored in this game because they don't have the best roster. So I think in this point in time, this would be a really game where you really want Patty to win it for you in the sense of giving the ball last and try to keep the game to where you don't have to go score 30 points. I think that's the best chance. Keep it under 30 and make sure Patrick Mahomes has the ball last. And I think we've seen that formula work for them over the years. And like I said, I think with a team that has a better top to bottom team and a team you can't really – I don't think the Chiefs can afford to make mistakes. Like Mahomes can't have two turnovers in this game. Like they can't turn the ball over 3 times and still win because I don't think the Eagles will turn over more than once. So I think that's what they have to do. They have to play – kind of what Danny said, play clean football and just make sure that Patrick Mahomes has the ball last with the chance to win the game or ice the game. Only phone I got for you. And lastly, Kareem Hunt, Pacheco. Not necessarily try to run at Jordan Davis and that front line, but just tire them out, make them move around, put some pressure on them. That's my thought process. Don't make it boy, Mahomes have to do everything in the first 3 quarters. You can leave it to him in the 4th, but I think you have to try to tire the defense down. So in the 4th, you have a chance for some Mahomes magic.
Yeah, I like that. And you know, Mahomes said it himself. He was like, I never blow anyone out. I keep it close to the end, and then I get it done. You know, there is one point of Danny's that I wanted to talk about. You talked about the speed thing that, you know, Slay not necessarily elite against speed in his career, and that is absolutely true. The Mina Kimes posted a stat earlier that I thought was absolutely amazing. In 2022, the Philadelphia Eagles were 24th in the league in EPA per play when they did not get pressure. Now we saw that in Super Bowl 57, no sacks. That team had the 3rd most sacks by a team in NFL history. Hassan Reddick was a 16-sack guy. Yeah, I think they had 4 double-digit. They had, I think, 4 or 5 double-digit sack guys. Like, that's insane. Like
Brandon Graham had sacks at 34 years old.
Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, the defensive tackle was the edge rusher. It was just a unit. But when they get shut down, it really exposed a relatively weak secondary. James Bradbury was all pro that season, and he was good. I am not even going to, he was great that season.
Couldn't tackle.
And he had a fine Super Bowl, too. That's not even the problem. I think what really got exposed was linebackers, because Jonathan Gannon, like Vic Fangio, isn't necessarily a blitz guy. So TJ Edwards, mind you, we've come a long way. We thought TJ Edwards and Kaiser White were really these are good linebackers. They're fine linebackers, but they're certainly not what we have now. Those guys were getting beat by Kelsey. They were getting beat on the short stuff. And the Chiefs, in the small amount of time they had the offense, were just able to pick that apart. This team is number 1 in EPA per play when they don't get pressure. They are fine with just sending 4. They have arguably the best second. one of the best secondaries in the NFL. And I think as a coverage linebacker duo, even just having Bond and then put anybody there and you make it work. Oren Burks hasn't been wonders in coverage. He ain't been bad. I don't think
Second
he's
year in
as
a
good.
row, he's playing a Super Bowl against the Chiefs.
Yes, that is true. And hopefully he fares better this time around. But I think Bond could be the biggest difference in the world just with how good he's been in coverage this year. And of course, it's not James Bradbury. That's Quinion Mitchell, who's been one of the 5 best corners in the league this year. And I truly don't believe it's debatable. Your second, then you have Cooper DeJean. That's not Avonte Maddox. And then you have Blankenship and Gardner Johnson. Gardner Johnson was there last time, of course. But and then another thing that Zach Bond could infect the game is I like what you said, Chris, about Kareem Hunt and Pacheco. I don't even want to say the Chiefs' plan to victory is to, of course, it's to take care of the ball. But sometimes you just can't, because like Zach Bond has like perfected the peanut punch, and so is Jalen Carter. So I just want to put more emphasis to that. Chiefs' path to victory is, of course, taking care of the ball, being methodical. The Eagles are going to want to try to win the time of possession battle. It's what they do. They run the ball 25, 30 times a game. They like to milk the clock. Don't let them do it. You do it instead. What they like to do, they like to do it in the form of quick routes and screens. It's not necessarily running the ball all the time. It's like an extended handoff, I guess you could say. So win that turnover battle, win the possession battle, and I won't even say try to stop Saquon Barkley. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. With the way Spags likes to blitz, Saquon's going to break one. Like everything's going to click one play, and then you got a Saquon home run, and I don't think the Chiefs could stomach that. No team has been able to stomach a Saquon home run this year. So
the Rams are the closest thing to do it.
The Commanders did. The Commanders did. But like Danny said, quarterback didn't start and finish the game. So, yeah, my plans to victory, it's kind of all the same. But I think Spags is really going to be – Spags versus Kellen Moore is really going to be something to see. Because there's been games where Kellen Moore – that I don't think any defensive coordinator could hold a candle to him. He's called some beautiful games when asked to. But we also really haven't seen an offensive coordinator get the best of Spags this year. I guess you could argue that Joe Brady has. I mean, he's put up, 38 and 29 points on him. But when Spags needed to, in the biggest moment, sent the house at Josh Allen. Josh Allen threw up a prayer, and he almost converted it. But the pressure was just enough to make something miss.
What if I told you Jalen Hurts is the one that's making Kellen Moore's offense look this good? Him checking out of certain plays with certain looks, him getting Saquon the ball in certain places.
That's certainly part of it. And as much as they want to downplay it, Jalen Hurts saying they let me out of the straitjacket a little bit that just kind of shows Kellen Moore likes to be a little conservative sometimes, which is not what it usually isn't his game. But he's also never had a running back as good as Saquon Barkley, so I can't blame him.
He didn't run the ball. Like
he's never run the ball.
Philly, he didn't run the ball. We just got the best running back in Philadelphia and pair him with an offensive coordinator that doesn't use running backs. Made no sense.
Yeah, man. Now he fell in love with the run game, which is, of course, good to see. But no, I definitely see your argument on that. I kind of just think it's a what do the Eagles want to do type of thing. But I have no doubts Patrick Mahomes is of course more than capable of winning this game. I think Kelsey is going to have his hands full with a bunch of different bodies going at him. Zach Bond, Gardner Johnson, Cooper DeJean, CJ Gardner Johnson. He's going to be seeing probably 5 to 6 different Eagles covering him all night. And kind of the Hollywood Brown, DeAndre Hopkins is going to be huge in this game. I think that your experience could definitely be like Hollywood Brown's never been on this stage. Xavier Worthy, you know excellence because this is your first year at you know DeAndre Hopkins, of course, hasn't been on the stage, but his experience alone makes it seem like he's a guy who's been here before. So I have a lot of faith in him to have a good game, and
You know what's
Patty Mahomes
crazy?
going to do his thing.
I'm gonna say something that might sound a little wild. The Chiefs feel like the best version of the Commanders.
No, I don't agree with that. It's because at this point we're talking about an entirely different team. The offensive, the Chiefs, their defense is one of the best in the league. That's certainly not the Commanders. The line is better, the running backs are better, the quarterback is obviously better. No stab at Daniels, of course, but
I mean, I think it's just quarterback
that's
centric
the GOAT.
offense that relies on a semi decent run game. Get the ball out quick is their offense.
Yeah, I guess, but the Chiefs don't really rely on the run game at all. They've actually attempted the third most passes this year. So they love throwing the ball. They love throwing the ball, and like I said, it's more like an extended handoff thing. This is why they spend a lot of their time with the lead and whatnot. But
Yeah, they're doing this without their best receiver. Still crazy.
yeah, and then I was gonna say another thing I'd like to to see the Chiefs do. George Karlaftis, if you can just make one play, find a way to make a play. It's just a sack, a pressure, a havoc play. Find it, because if you can just find a way to beat Mailata and Johnson just once, that could be the difference. Chris Jones, I expect him to probably win some plays against Juergens and Becton. The Eagles' offensive line will absolutely be throwing two bodies at him the whole time. So it could be a big day for everyone else. And secondary wise, the Chiefs apparently don't know how to hold Devontae Smith, so I don't think they have a plan to do that anytime soon. But the next best thing is to just take someone out of the game. Like, I don't know. I'm going to be relying a lot. I would say their front will be the biggest thing, because if they can't generate pressure on Jalen Hurts, they have shown in the past, the same secondary without L'Jarius Sneed, that they can't hold A.J. Brown on Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert. So, yeah, get pressure defensively. Spags, I would say, who do I look telling Spags to ease on the blitz? But if he calls one wrong blitz and the Eagles pick it up, that's your game right there. So, sorry, long ramble. Any last words on the Chiefs before we head to the Eagles' plan to victory?
No.
All right. Let's go to the Eagles' plan to victory. We can start with Chris on this one.
I think the plan to victory is run the damn ball, run the damn football. I think Jalen Hurts shouldn't attempt more than 22 passes. I know that sounds crazy, and I'm not on the side of Twitter that thinks he can't pass because he doesn't throw it 40 times a game. I think those 22 passes can be as effective as him throwing it 40 times and getting 400 yards if they run the ball like I think they will. Saquon needs 30 touches. Doesn't have to be all runs, obviously. Quick passes, screens, because Saquon's an animal. He can do what he wants. But I want to see more designed Jalen Hurts runs too. He's been looking a lot better second half of the season, in my opinion, especially before that concussion, and even coming back from it, looks more comfortable just running around in the pocket. I think he looks as close to 100% healthy as he can be. So I think that'll be something that can keep the Chiefs defense off, just off a little bit. Again, like Tone kind of said about Spags blitzing, like I think some design quarterback runs can help that. So I want to see them keep the ball on the ground or not. But when they do pass the ball, I want to see them make the Chiefs make plays. Like, the short passes work for the Eagles. Obviously, they have a great short passing game, but I want to see them put pressure on McDuffie, put pressure on that back line, put pressure on that back half of the defense and make them make plays. Because we talk about the Chiefs' front line and their linebackers a lot and how they make plays. But outside of McDuffie, I'm not really scared of anyone else back there. Not saying they can't make plays, but especially when you're going out there with Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, I think you make them really stop them when it matters. Like I said, keep the ball on the ground, but make those shot plays. I think they can win the game like that. I think the Eagles defense is going to do enough to give them a chance. Now, I'm not saying they're going to stop Patrick Mahomes. I mean, that's difficult to do, but I think they'll do enough to give the Eagles offense a chance to win. So I just want them, and I think they should be looking forward to taking taking advantage of those times where they can do those big strike plays or even quick strike plays, but try to load them to sleep a lot with the run. I think that's probably the best key to victory I can give for the Eagles to win.
Yeah, I like that. And I like the point you made about Jalen, because it's not like the faster people learn that if any other quarterback was in this offense, how good do you have to be to take away touches from some Saquon Barkley? Like, how good do you have to be to not give him 25 plus carries a game? You'd have to be one of the top 3 dudes in
The
the
top
league.
3, yeah, about to say that's it. Only them
You'd
three.
have to be in the top 3. And even with Lamar, it's like
I was still want to say
we're not taking those touches away to run or to throw the ball. We're taking those touches away because y'all are probably going with Saquon and we're going to run with Lamar. Same thing with Josh Allen. To truly take away carries from Saquon Barkley to throw the ball instead, you'd have to be Patrick Mahomes. So I like that point you made. Danny, how's Jalen Hurts getting ring number 1?
My favorite quarterback, my favorite player, the way he gets ring number 1 is outside of his command. We know what Jalen Hurts is doing. We know what he brings to the game. We know what Saquon Barkley brings to the game. I genuinely think the Eagles' defense not giving up 38 points will win them the game. The Eagles are going to put up 30 points, no matter how you're going to slice it. This Chiefs defense is good. This Eagles offense is just better. I think this Eagles offense will guarantee to put up 30 points. It's going to come down to the defense. This defense has improved. There's no artificial. Turf is artificial. There's no turf goat, turf god, whatever they wanted to say, to come in and change the sod out. Sod god, they call him. And Jalen Hurts is a known big game riser. He rises to the occasion. Like I said, we don't have to worry about Hurts. What you do want to do is 2 things. Like I said, make sure that defense doesn't give up that many points. It keeps the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hands. Number 2, get your weapons involved. Make sure A.J. Brown sees the ball. Make sure Saquon Barkley sees 25 touches. And make sure Devontae Smith gets 5+ catches. If you do that, you win the football game. When your best targets get the ball, we saw what happened last Super Bowl. 300 yards from Jalen Hurts. 4 total touchdowns. He had one of the best Super Bowl performances ever. I mean, Tom Brady is arguably the only one that had a better Super Bowl performance outside of that. He willed his team down the field on the must-have it drive, got the 2-point conversion on a QB sweep. We saw what his performance in the big game is like. So just keep spreading the ball around, keep letting his guys eat. And I think we need to start talking about Jalen Hurts as the most selfless quarterback in the league.
Yeah, absolutely.
He doesn't care about the stats.
Selfless. Like,
everyone's to talk about his stats and like whatever they're down, whatever. He doesn't care. He only cares about winning. Like, albeit they could lose the game, he could have 500 yards. He'll be like, it wasn't good enough.
If it's never going to be good enough, you might as well win.
Yeah, exactly.
You might as well do what it takes to win, because it's never going to matter.
Yep.
So yeah, I like what you said. I think Eagles keys to victory. Kind of the stat I brought up earlier. Number 1 in EPA per play when they don't provide pressure. Be nice to provide some pressure though, but when you don't, make sure you uphold. No one likes pulling the rabbit out of the hat more than Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. They love to freestyle and just do backyard routes, backyard football stuff. You got to be able to maintain. I think a Jalen Hurts running the football is going to be huge. Since 2022, since that Super Bowl run, Jalen Hurts has 13 total touchdowns and 1 giveaway. And 1 giveaway cost him his first crack at a Super Bowl. Inadvertently. I'm not blaming just him, but you got to look at it and, face the music that was tough. So I'm all for everything you guys said. Let Jalen Hurts maybe no, don't drop him back 30 times, of course, but put the ball in his hands when it matters. 3rd and 5, draw up that quarterback draw. We've seen him do it. Last Super Bowl there was a 4th and 5. He nearly got tripped up short of it, but that's why your quarterback's in the weight room like that, because he has unbelievable contact balance from the quarterback position that very few have. And Saquon Barkley take us home offensively. The Spags likes to blitz. One of these times, it's going to be picked up perfectly, and you're the best runner in the open field in the NFL. You're the best running back in the NFL. But once you get to that second level, goodbye. Nobody matches that power and speed that he has. And then defensively, like I said, they got to hold up. Gotta get a turnover. They've destroyed the turnover battle this postseason. I mean, they have 3 on Jordan Love, if I'm not mistaken. They had 2 against the Rams, nearly a third. DeJean dropped the pick, but they won the turnover battle 2-0 against LA. Won the turnover battle against the Commanders 3-0. I'm pretty sure. The peanut punch, or it might have been 4. 3 fumbles and an interception. So they're just dominating the turnover battle this postseason. And this is your biggest challenge yet, because this is a quarterback who just doesn't give the ball away, a team that doesn't really give the ball away all like that. Just got to find a way to make a play. Vic Fangio has not had success against Patrick Mahomes in the past. Granted, he was trotting out like Case Keenum at quarterback. And he just had very serious, unserious quarterback play. So I'm excited for that. Not to say Mahomes, it's been years since we said, Mahomes has struggled against the too high shell, but I think this is a more perfected version of the last time the Eagles tried to run it against them. So, yeah, it's pretty simple. Saquon's brought you here. Let him take you home as well.
Man, I can already hear him. Kevin Burkhardt, Saquon Barkley off to the races.
Yeah,
Sunday.
I mean, it's going to be an absolutely electric game. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous. 2 weeks or last week, I'm like, oh, I'm not nervous. It's either, Jalen Hurts gets a ring or Mahomes comes a GOAT. Mahomes can wait on the GOAT stuff, man. He can wait on the GOAT stuff. I need this bad. But there's not a team I respect more than the Kansas City Chiefs. Their greatness personified, the modern dynasty. Mahomes at the age he's at to already have 3 rings, 3 Super Bowl MVPs. Tom didn't even have 3 Super Bowl MVPs at his age because Deion Branch got one, and it's Philly. But
Andre Iguodala type beat.
Hey, Deion balled though.
Death being pointed at the earth.
I want Deion Branch.
Obviously,
come on, man. Deion Branch hooped. He effectively put the game away with a 10-point lead, and then Chunky McNabb started throwing up in the huddle, man.
So I'm gonna play Chunky suit.
Should have never been there, dude. What McNabb did on 4th down against the they should have never been in the Super Bowl.
Respect legend Dom McNabb.
All right. To be fair, they made like 4 straight NFC title games. They were bound to get one. Okay,
that's fair. But dude, the way they did that against the Packers, 4th down and 26 with a conversion,
legendary.
Cool. Hey, my guy made a play.
Chris, all I gotta say is, you probably remember watching that game. I was.
All right, a random stray in the
middle.
Definitely
a random stray. 100%.
8 straight is crazy. Actually, earlier, this is kind of off topic.
That's not a stray.
No, listen. This is kind of off topic, but
that's
my guy Usk. He texted me. He was asking me something about collagen. It's a type of protein that your body generates, but around like mid-20s, closer to your 30s, your body stops generating it. It's good for like hair, skin, nails, bones, joints, whatever. And I was like, yeah. I was like, well, you don't. I was like, it's kind of really only needed for people who are like kind of near their 30s. So you basically, yeah. Once you're 25, you're pushing 30.
Man, I'm cooked.
I don't make the rules.
Man, I was out the other day, and I was talking to this dude. I'm like, yo, guess how old I am? He's like, you 32? I'm like,
oh, he cooked you, man. We gotta keep taking that biotin, man. We gotta make sure we're taking natural shampoos.
I hit him with one of these.
You didn't hit him with that, boy. What are we just lying for? But yeah, do we got anything else to say on the Eagles?
I do.
Two things: Grant Calcaterra, Dallas Goedert. I think they will probably be almost as I think they will be as impactful as we think Brown and Devontae Smith could be, just because they may be the most forgotten about people on that Sunday. Because you got to worry about Saquon, AJ, Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith. Those two may be the most forgotten about on the Eagles side of it. Notice about the Eagles now. They're two I'm watching out for. Both of them, not just one. I think both of them can have big catches or big plays. I think you have so much to worry about.
Yeah, you gotta minimize the Chiefs, Devil, Satan, Spawn linebackers that are all just 6'5" freaks of athletes.
Nick Bolton, he's so fast.
Nick Bolton, Leo Chanel, they're all just like freak athletes that you're like, what are you doing here? How are you that good at the sport?
No, I agree. And one of my favorite sayings that I picked up over the last couple of weeks, especially when it comes to football, is don't go out there to try and not lose. Go out there to win. Don't play scared. I know they're the back-to-back champs, and they got your number once. But the last time y'all shared a football field, it was in Arrowhead, and you won. And you held them to 0 points in the second half.
And Hurts did not play well.
Different Chiefs team. Hurts balled in the second half.
Hey, I mean,
he did his part. But just go out there with the intent of winning the game, and that's calling being aggressive. That's throwing the screen to Goddard, which surprisingly he might be the best screen guy on our team. But
he breaks tackles.
It's dialing up the deep shot to Jahan Dotson if it's there. To do it. We're not going to throw it to Jahan now because it's the biggest stage. We weren't throwing it to him all year. When there's an opportunity to make a play, the play needs to be made. I thought Jalen Hurts approached the last Super Bowl that way, converted a lot of third downs. Obviously had the big shot to A.J. Brown, which when you kind of look back at it, I still think it was a good throw, but A.J. did a great job on that by faking out McDuffie. That was a baby McDuffie, though.
Man, A.J. still got his number. I'm with that.
Yep, and we're going to find out. But let's get to this tail of the tape. So basically, we're just going to go quickly, position by position, and we're going to judge which, who's got it where.
Quarterback.
I would say the quarterback is, while both of these guys are elite, one of them is the GOAT or the baby GOAT. So I think we go Chiefs on that one. No,
one share to cover with Brady. That's interesting though. If Hurts were to win a Super Bowl, he would have the same amount of very similar stats of Mahomes through age 25.
You're referring in Elliott Shores Parks tweet. It's not valid. That's not valid, and it's very nasty.
Stats are telling the truth, man.
Dude, a plane crashed in Philadelphia, and ESP tweeted out, I think Devontae Smith's going to have a big game. Me too, man, but read the room. Running back.
Next.
Not a question.
Okay, my bad.
Even if you put Kareem Hunt and Pacheco together.
Yeah, if there were 5 running backs together, Brute. If you took Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's not even on the team no more.
Okay, let me ask something. This Chiefs running back group of Pacheco and Hunt, or the 2022 group of Sanders, Gainwell, and Scott?
Jet McKinnon?
No, well, Jet's not on the Chiefs still, right?
I know.
No, I don't think so.
I'd probably take the Chiefs. I'm taking Hunt and Pacheco.
Yeah, because Miles had 7 carries for 16 yards. So,
and I do want to respect Justice Hill variant, Kenneth Gainwell.
Justice Hill variant. That's
an original.
I hope you know that's original. That's an original sentence.
Huh?
Hill might be a Kenneth Gainwell variant.
Possibly. They're each other because they run the same. Their legs get real wide and their arms are like
these. Words have never been uttered. Kenneth Gainwell variant?
Yes.
Will Shipley a Saquon variant?
Well,
he might be.
I'm cool with it.
Maybe. He needs more touches. I like him. We won't go wide receiver and tight end. We'll just go receiving corps.
The Eagles. By a lot.
Yeah. I think their two is just better than everybody else. So I think it's hard to say. Not hard to say, but I think it's obviously Eagles. But if you just depth, if you want to say that, then maybe Chiefs. But
yeah, because it's like Brown. It's Brown, Smith, Goddard, and then it gets like real bad from there. But like, I mean, the Chiefs is like Hollywood and Kelsey and Hopkins
Justin
and
Watson,
Worthy.
and legend.
and Penn legend Justin Watson.
Justin Watson needs not see the field. He better not.
Dude, Chris, he's always good for a touchdown, dude. Makes no sense.
He's always good for a touchdown. He has like 5 career touchdowns.
The Noah Gray, by the way.
Like Noah Gray's a good backup tight end. You know,
Yeah, but Eagles.
I think this next one I think is relatively close. Despite popular belief, offensive line.
Oh,
I mean, I think the Chiefs. It's gonna sound crazy. The
are we
Chiefs
talking blocking tight ends?
no.
I think so.
The Chiefs have, in my opinion, I don't even know. I think Creed Humphrey is the best center in the NFL.
I wouldn't debate it, to be honest.
Like, and I think center and left tackle are the most important position on the offensive line.
Yeah.
So it's like the Eagles have the best left tackle. They have the best center. You call it a wash, in my opinion, but I think it means
you could argue the Chiefs have the best left tackle with what Tony's done this year.
Yeah, but he's a guard playing tackle.
He's doing great. He's doing
fine.
Level.
I agree. He's doing fine.
I think fine sounded short.
He's doing great. I watched him in his film. He's a little slow getting out. He doesn't look like a tackle. He looks like a guard. He looks like a guard trying to play tackle.
That could be a problem against the speedier types of Sweat and
Nolan
Smith.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something to look for. I think I'll give the Eagles the nod because of Lane. Lane Johnson continues to be the best right tackle in the league.
I mean, Jordan Mailata is better than Joe Thuney.
I think that's a fine take. I think Tooney's been really good this year. If you say Mailata is better, I certainly won't argue it. He's a beast. So
yeah.
We're gonna go the Eagles on this group though. Defensive line.
It's close. Chris, I think it's closer than you think. But
no, I would agree. I would agree. I think what's probably been the difference is that Nolan Smith has become like just an entirely different beast these playoffs. So I kind of have to like judge the group off that. Maybe regular. I mean, but at the same time, Carl Aftis has become like an absolute monster.
On terms of top end talent, I'm giving the Eagles the edge.
Yeah, so I mean, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Jordan Davis is just taking up 2 bodies every single time.
Brandon Graham's back, Josh Sweat, Nolan Smith. Like,
I don't know how much
you rattle off.
Brandon Graham is going to give his best 2012 Ray Lewis type Super Bowl. He's just out there, bro. I promise.
He is for sure. But what I'm telling you is,
Ray was out there on one arm and aura.
It worked for us, man. He still danced.
Shout out Charles Omenihu, but the Chiefs rock out with him as their like 3rd best rusher, and Tershawn Wharton. Like these are some guys that get big rotational minutes for the Chiefs. Where the Eagles are getting Jordan Davis and Brandon Graham and a lot of other big names like Milton Williams could be a name to watch.
Milton Williams is a beast, dude.
Yeah, and that's why
Moro Ojomo
starts on like 90% of other teams. Ojomo gets way more snaps on any other team.
That's why I said the Eagles though, because after you get to the Chiefs first, like after you get past that first 2 or 3, it's like
Omenihu.
It's a big drop off.
Yeah, who's not bad at all. Like really good player.
He's solid, but after you get past the Eagles 2 or 3, you still got 2 or 3 more that could be special as well. So
I saw someone try to compare him to Carter. It's like it's not that wide of a gap. I'm like, okay, if Jalen Carter got to play with Chris Jones, I promise you, he's Aaron Donald. Who do you double team?
You don't.
Who would you double
team either of them?
Just accept your defeat. Could you like that would just be crazy. Jalen Carter and Chris Jones, that would be crazy. And Chris Jones, I expect to have a big game. I mean, the OG's still doing it.
I mean, that's why they're saying Myles Garrett's going to the Eagles. Who do you double team?
Garrett.
Yeah,
you have to. You have Jalen Carter's a beat, but you have to. You got to throw the house at Garrett, dude.
The size of 3 people, you have to at least put 2 on.
Yo.
I got an idea.
Bowl,
Double him, double Carter, single team Jordan Davis. I'm trying to see something.
A good thing for y'all don't have to think about it because prior to Danny's reign on my parade, you'll have to pick. Do you want to double Nnamdi Madubuike or Myles Garrett?
Yo, Chris. The craziest thing is if the Eagles lose the Super Bowl, they are 100% trading for Myles Garrett. They're gonna go full. We're assembling the greatest show on turf of all time to try to stop the Chiefs.
Possibly.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. We have no choice.
For him first before the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, that's gonna be the announcement right before halftime, right before Kendrick performs. Like, oh, breaking news! Traded to the Ravens.
He's like traded to the Ravens, but I'm not like their kicker. I'm not like him. I'm the oak.
Well, Kendrick performance calls for a smoke break.
Yeah, I'm walking out until I hear squabble up. Then I'm coming back in. Then I'm going back out.
First song.
The moment I hear mustard on the beat,
I'm out.
They said Cooper DeJean gonna walk out the locker room. Mustard.
All right, man.
It's all right, man.
Let's move to the next position. We're on a 4 Eagles win streak here. Linebackers.
Yeah, it's gonna sound crazy. I'm taking the Chiefs. Zach Bond's the best player of the group, but I'm taking the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think that's a fair take. It just.
Are we counting Nolan Smith as a linebacker or edge?
Who?
Nolan Smith. Is he getting counted as an edge or linebacker?
He's a D linebacker.
We're gonna put him with the edge rushing group. We'll consider these the off ball linebackers.
Okay.
So Bolton, Bond, Burke,
Chanel.
Yeah, I got
Leo Chanel.
And it could be because I see them all the time, and I got a good memory of what they do to teams in the AFC, and that could be why I'm choosing them. But I think Chanel and Bolton probably got my pick. I like Bond. I think Bond could be the best player out the group, but I'll probably give the next two, not count Nolan Smith, to.
Bro, Nick Bolton is quietly like one of the best players in the NFL. It makes no sense
because he doesn't wow you in the regular season, but bro,
at all.
He forcing a fumble in the playoffs. He getting a big deflection. He guarding one of the best tight ends in the league, bro. He does it every year. Like he's a 3 to 4 game player. He ain't a 16 game player, and we don't say that enough in the NFL. We love that term in the NBA. I'm a 16 game player, not a this game player. We need to use that more in the NFL because it's basically equivalent. So,
but the problem is the NBA is a series, so you can see a whole long time of their performance rising, whereas like the NFL is one game, so you're like, did they just have a good game?
But if they continuously for years continue to have good 3-4 game stretches when the weather's at its coldest, I think you got to start considering a guy a playoff player.
I agree. I'm with that too.
You know, shout out Rajon Rondo, the most 16 game player who's ever lived. When he got to the playoffs,
that's kind of like a Jimmy High Roller video.
Yeah, if Jimmy ever makes a video of that, like who's actually the greatest, I think he has made a playoff performer video, but it was like a while ago. Okay, you know what? I'm fine with giving the Chiefs a linebacker, but if Zach Bond's name was Fred Warner, this would easily be the Eagles. I continue to doubt the Bond, man.
I just think Oren Burks is not.
Yeah. See, that's an example of like. He's played 2.5 games, and we've watched him be horrible before, so he could unravel. It's definitely there. Secondary.
Eagles, without a doubt. A team that rocks out, respect him. Chamari Connor is one of their cornerbacks.
Definitely, he's very reliant on the blitzes that Spags was able to cook up.
He's a solid football player. He's nothing compared to Cooper DeJean. He's not Quinn Mitchell. Darius Slay has made big plays in the playoffs, so
it's almost like that's his name. It's part of his game.
That's why
he was born to do it. Yeah,
he was.
Kershaw going Eagles as well.
For which part?
Secondary, corner safeties.
Corners. Oh yeah,
we're going the whole secondary.
I do like Trey McDuffie, but I mean, outside of that, it's like I'm cool on everybody else. Actually, they're not bad, but I'm cool.
And then this next one, I think everybody will lean not Eagles. Whoa, Chiefs here, coaching.
Yeah,
I'm not calling Nick Sirianni a big dumb dummy. You're not Andy Reid though. I think that's fair. Vic Fangio, legend of the game, the creator essentially of the modern too high shell, but you're also not Spags.
Man, Matt Nagy
Kellen Moore, you're better than Matt
awful.
Nagy, though.
Yeah, Matt Nagy is holding him back.
Yeah, but I think we can go. I think we can go Chiefs here pretty easily.
I agree.
Nick Sirianni, you'll get your respect one day, and that will be February 9th when
he doesn't cry after the Super Bowl.
He cried before it, and it was for good reason. So at the tail of the tape, we have the Chiefs winning 3 of these positions, and we have the Eagles winning 5. So definitely a lot closer than I thought going into this. And I even think, I really still think you could argue, that the trenches won for either team. Of course, we lead Eagles here. It's fine. But a lot of these, I think the only ones that are clear, secondary is clear, coaching's clear, quarterback and running back are clear.
Let's go special teams. I miss the Chiefs.
Yeah, because the Eagles are kind of suspect to a big return every now and then, and that's what killed them in the last Super Bowl. So, but they also have forced a turnover on special teams in 2 of the games these playoffs.
So, Chris, I said this. I said if the Eagles let Nico Remigio beat them, so be it.
Yeah, just put it out the back of the end zone. But I think another thing to consider is Will Shipley 2 times in the last game got him in great field position, got him up to the 40 for the big Saquon run. And there was another one. I think he brought it to the 35 or so. Shipley's definitely been great, but I think I'd have to go Kansas City. Bucker is a lot better than Elliott at this rate. And just a more disciplined team, I would say, all around. So that would make it 5-4. But quarterback, coach, special teams, it's not a bad 3 to be better in. One would argue that could win you the football game.
This is one of those games. Special teams literally could be the difference because a random punt return, random kick return, and not even for a touchdown, like a 50-yard punt return that
like Kadarius Toney did.
Yeah, something like that. Kadarius Toney that boy got feet for hands, but very big play. And I will say something like that can literally be the turning point. Like if it's 20-20, a big punt return can make it 23-20, and then now it's I just think special teams is I think the little things are going to be a big deal because obviously every Super Bowl you think about all the stars in it, but it's usually the little things that win the game or the star. So I'm gonna go on the side of little things being such a big deal in this game too.
The crazy thing is I don't see a world where the Chiefs could ever blow the Eagles out. I see a world where the Eagles can blow the Chiefs out though.
I think the only reason I feel that way as well is because I've watched a overly talented team take advantage of a Mahomes-led team, but the context was so different where it's the tackles were out and this Bucs defense is I truly believe put on one of the best defensive performances ever. Even if those tackles were going to be in, they just had a day.
Who says that can't happen again?
It could happen again. It absolutely could happen again. So I think that's why I kind of see your reasoning, but Mahomes, it just doesn't even sound right. Mahomes getting blown out when the let me not act like he has AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and Saquon, but when the playing field is even, everybody's effectively healthy.
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
Let's give out some Super Bowl predictions, man. I think it's about that time. I made y'all go first on everything. I'm down to go first on this one. I'm of course an Eagles fan. If you want to call it bias, it's fine. But when I think my team has a puncher's chance, and truthfully, not even just a puncher, when they got a damn good chance, they're only 1.5 dogs, and you can argue they shouldn't be dogs at all. I'm probably going to lean them. I originally had 35-31 written down. I'm going to change that to 35-27. Philly gets the win. And I predict that the ending of the game will be very similar to Super Bowl 52. Philly's going to make it, it's going to be 35-27. No, we'll call it like this. It's 35-24. The Chiefs decide to spare time, kick a field goal, make it a one-possession game. The Eagles can't necessarily get enough time off the clock. They give it back to Mahomes with enough time to maybe get to half field. He throws up the prayer, and Quinion Mitchell sends him to Cancun. That's my prediction, and that's peak cinema, I say. Also, Brandon Graham gets a strip sack, and that puts him in the Hall of Fame. I'm not having a debate with anybody. He strip sacking the two greatest quarterbacks of all time for a game in the Super Bowl. That's canon for me. I'm sorry.
Unfortunately, he won't be on the field for to be able to do
He
that.
getting 5 snaps, and you go feel those 5 snaps for sure.
You'll feel him, but probably not in the biggest moment of the game.
You never know. If those other 4 snaps are good, you know.
Fair enough.
Vic might make the call. Floor's open to anybody else, though.
Yeah, I'll take it. I have the Eagles winning a close one, 34-28. I think that the Chiefs – I said this earlier, the Eagles have all the juice to give you a full squeeze. I still believe that. There's nothing that ever tells me about this Eagles roster that they'd be in doubt. When you look across the league, there's a bunch of teams that say, oh, well, that could be better. Well, that could change. Like, when you look at the Eagles roster, the only thing you really look at is Jake Elliott. You're like, Jake Elliott has missed kicks. Like that's really all it's – you say, oh, I really wish that was better.
Yeah, maybe I need to make it more realistic. Maybe I should put like 34-27. He's bound to miss a PAT, you know?
That's why I said 34-28.
Or maybe it's like he's perfect on – I don't know.
He'll make the 2 field goals, miss the PAT.
Nah, he's locked in this time for sure.
But no, reality is both teams are awesome. I could see a world where the Eagles win this game like 31-14. But I do really
that'd be a blessing. That would be a blessing. Wouldn't give me a heart attack, but
it would be a heart attack still because it would be like Mahomes gets to the red zone pick, so some stuff like that.
Only us, bro.
So,
Chris, what's that final prediction?
Because of all the things y'all said and how right y'all are, this is the exact reason why it's going to be 24-21 Chiefs, unfortunately. It's already written for the Chiefs. I'm joking. I'm not even going to get into conspiracies. It's just fun to do. I'm not going to control. But in reality, bro, I think 24-21. I think the Chiefs just find a way. Being that they're playing a better team, they're going to find a way to win. Like, I don't even have like a crazy explanation like, oh, Kelsey's going to do this. Mahomes going to do. I can't call it because you never can call it.
That's how you know a team's good.
Did you see Marquez Valdes-Scantling getting a game-winning touchdown? Did you see that happening? Was that on your bingo card? Did you see that? No. So something.
Sky Moore.
I did see. I did have Jawan Jennings Super Bowl MVP, but Mahomes had to go and ruin it.
Yeah, Jawan Jennings was. He's a guy.
Jawan Jennings was hoping.
Oh, he
was going to get that, bro. I promise he's going to get that Super Bowl MVP.
Whenever it's a receiver out for the 49ers, Jawan Jennings, sign him up. He's wide receiver one that game. But yeah, I think 24-21. I think it comes down to 21-21, and I think Butker makes the kick. That's just what my heart tells me. But I think after this is the last one of those runs for the Chiefs. I think that's why I think it's important for Mahomes to get this because nobody's saying he's going to age the same way Brady did. Not playing, but being able to continue to win and go do those things. So I think it's a big one for the Chiefs to get this one. I think the Eagles. I think Danny. Yeah, Dan, you said it earlier. Eagles lose this, they're going to go full Avengers and then not lose for 2 more years. So I think this would be the one that puts them over the top. I got the Chiefs winning 24-21 and a close one.
And I'm going to tell you something. This Kansas City Chiefs team, it's kind of scary with the way they are. They've been down in every Super Bowl they've been in.
They've been down by 10. Well, I don't think last year, but
they've been down. They play from behind and they come back and beat you. The Eagles need to, if they get the lead early, they go up 24-14 like they did last time, put your foot on their fucking throat.
And the best part about that is, so the last Super Bowl, they couldn't run the ball. They couldn't try and attempt to even salt the game away. The best part about it is they get the lead, like you say, and handing it off isn't even the cowardly thing to do because you're handing it off to someone who's arguably been the best player in the world this year.
Even if it was cowardly.
Not even cowardly. That giving it to him is putting the foot on the throat. Yeah. That's the scariest part about it all.
Man, I better see Wildcat from Saquon Barkley coming up.
But I would love to be a coward with Saquon Barkley on my side. You can call me a coward as long as you want to. If handing the ball to the best player in the game who is a person who takes care of the football. If that's not just smart,
Knock on wood. Saquon fumble would probably ruin my life, dude.
it will ruin everybody's life because nobody's thinking about it. Nobody's seeing it. Nobody's seeing
Yo,
that.
Chris.
Because Christian McCaffrey fumbled last year. Christian McCaffrey doesn't fumble, and he fumbled last year. Bro, Saquon fumbles, bro. I'm going to lose my mind.
All I gotta say is, if people want to ban the tush push, we're banning that the Ravens Mark Andrews play too.
No, we're not.
We're
we're not. Because we need our left tackle one from early in the season to be our QB2 for
Bro, we're banning that play too. If we're banning tush push, we're banning the Mark Andrews motion and take it and go.
I love
it's just so funny because the Bills ran a tush push.
They didn't push
it on the line and didn't get it.
They didn't push.
Nobody was up in arms then.
They might have got it, but
they were up in arms. They were up in arms because they said Josh Allen got it because his body hit got over. But unfortunately, it's the ball.
But if he did, would they be talking about some ban tush push? No,
because he threw the ball 45 times in the game, so he obviously can throw the football better than Jalen Hurts. That's what Twitter says.
Josh Allen don't win like Jalen Hurts.
I'm gonna leave you with something.
I'm gonna be
Justin Herbert or Jalen Hurts.
Who's better?
Who you taking to lead your franchise?
Do you want my nasty answer or do you want like my real answer? Justin Herbert is one of the 5 best talents in the NFL. I'm taking Justin Herbert. But if I want to win some damn football games,
I'm going to take
Jalen Hurts. I'm taking Jalen Alexander Hurts.
If I'm starting my franchise, dude, I'm taking Jalen Hurts for 2 reasons. One, you get a quarterback and you get a short down running back right there. So now all you have to do is get another running back. Now you got 3 players instead of 2. I'm taking that every time. Unfortunately, I'm taking
3 for 2.
And Hurts has that LeBron energy. He's just like
Jalen has that. Jalen is a leader of men. It's something I've always preached, especially to Danny. I think the reason why some Philly teams are more respected than others is because who is at the helm? Jalen Hurts, a stoic leader of men. All he does is win. Bryce Harper, the most aura in the MLB. How many times in the playoffs has someone just said the wrong thing about Bryce Harper and he's made you pay? You know? Dude, like they said, swing of his life. Like I'm still in awe by it. And the reason why Philly may not, or the reason why the Sixers aren't looked, as this pizzazzed, aura-filled team is because of Embiid and some of the things that he does. Even though I think he should get a little bit more respect for playing through the injuries that he does. The only problem is that he plays horrible. So like maybe they're better off without him. But those on-off numbers do not lie. Those brothers are horrible. And maybe that's just bad roster construction and not necessarily an Embiid thing. Sure, you giving us Maxey?
No.
Let us get McCain.
You get McCain with Embiid. Cool, man.
Bet.
I love McCain, but
all right. Last thing.
Sorry.
We need a Super Bowl MVP, fellas.
Pat Mahomes.
Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, I'm picking Mahomes.
All right, so we got Chris is going Mahomes. That would give him the perfect 4 for 4, like a Wendy's meal. Danny is going.
That's some bull.
Barkley.
He didn't deserve the first one.
Oh yeah. Oh, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Dude, we're not giving it to someone who scored a 40-yard like garbage time touchdown. He could have slid and they could have iced the game. Not doing that, bro. Mahomes
He played good, bro.
He played good. He didn't play better than Mahomes. In the last 7 minutes of the game, Patrick Mahomes turned into the best player in the world.
We need a conference championship, conference MVP before that.
No, I'm so glad they made that.
Jason
Tatum, the first ever conference championship MVP in NBA history.
I low-key hate those. I ain't gonna lie.
LeBron don't got one.
I'm just
saying LeBron does not have one.
He does not.
Michael Jordan does not have one. Where's Kareem's Eastern Conference Finals MVP?
Where's the tape on Wilt? I seen a video of George Washington Carver the other day. If I seen that, I need that 100 points by Wilt tonight. I need to see
that just reminded me of something funny. It was like Nikola Jokic when he sees that it's Jackson Hayes and not AD, and it was like someone posing as the Wilt picture. It's like, that's crazy because he still gave 30 to AD. And that's probably the best equipped guy to guard him.
Yep.
And he still cooked him. It's like,
You know,
no, don't get it wrong. AD gave him that work back. Don't get it twisted. But
you know who low-key would be a good cover if he had any discipline for Jokic, and this may sound crazy, but it's Jaren Jackson. Jaren Jackson has
absolutely.
Elite length, like as far as arms. But this dude, he has 4 fouls by the third quarter. He can't even guard Jokic in the fourth because he's out. But sorry, I know we're not talking about basketball, but
Bam Adebayo too.
He's too small. That's one thing. Only thing too short. His arms is not long enough. That's why I was saying Jaren, because he got the long arms. I think if Bam had Jaren's body as far as his length, I think he'd be the best. I would agree with you, Daniel. I think this guy's arms a little too short.
Yeah.
But back to MVP picks. Chris has Mahomes. Danny has Barkley. I'm going Jalen Hurts to get the one that got away last time. I'm talking 247 passing yards. I think we're getting another 40 on the ground, including a 20-plus yard touchdown scamper with a tush push one as well.
Barkley
and let me get one to my two boys, Brown and Smitty.
All right, so Barkley has 200 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Whew.
Can they not give it to him? Like,
no, if he has 200 yards, he's getting it because Jalen's definitely not doing what he's doing now.
If Jalen has 250 yards passing,
if 250 yards, does he crack 300 total yards, 2 touchdowns, or 3 touchdowns, no turnovers? Yeah. Quarterback's going to win it. But they could give it to Saquon and be like, that's the best season ever by a running back.
It's best season, not just the best season. That's probably the best running back performance in a Super Bowl ever.
Yeah. No. That absolutely, like 100%. But I'm just saying, like, he does that, with all the stuff he did. Best Super Bowl ever by a running back. Best season ever by a running back.
Let's just say this. You know what's not even crazy? The Philadelphia Eagles aren't even turning Saquon into something that he's not. They're unlocking something that the Giants had locked up in a cage.
Yeah.
They're not even they haven't changed Saquon.
Do you have Barkley Do you have Barkley stats at all, or like for the predictions for his MVP stats?
Yeah, and I think he's getting 180 yards and 2 touchdowns.
180
rushing yards.
2 tutties. Yep. Okay. Chris, do you got a line for Mahomes?
225 passing yards, 30 rushing yards, 3 total touchdowns, no turnovers.
Whew, that's the key right there, man.
And I think I know I threw the rushing yards in there. Patrick Mahomes only runs in the last like 3 or 4 games of the season. But every time
do for a scamper.
They do, but my girl says
that's the best way to describe how he runs. It's not a scrib, it's a scamper.
Bro, my girl says all the time, she's like, he just looks so tubby. How does he move like that? I'm like, bro, every player that looks tubby has some type of special speed out of nowhere that they can get to.
You never know, man. Seriously.
He's the guy with this, like I forget who they were playing against. He was just, it was the Bills. He was just outrunning people to the sideline. I'm like, is he outrunning the corner? Am I seeing this wrong? What am I watching? It just happens in the playoffs. He doesn't do it in the regular season. He just chills. But in the playoffs, he just turns into
Big Ben had that level of juice.
Low key.
Yeah, but I think Hurts 20+ yard touchdown run on the most watched event in the year, besides the Grammys. Maybe more than Grammys. I don't know who tuned in the Grammys. I didn't. But anyway.
State of the Union address is usually up there with it.
State of the Union address, Super Bowl. If Jalen Hurts can get a 20+ yard touchdown run there, changes a lot of narratives. And this is something I also wanted to tap into. I love Cam Newton with all my heart. And he has really set the precedent for present-day quarterbacks. I just want to go and see who has more 10+ yard runs, more 20+ yard runs, more 30+ yard runs between him and Jalen Hurts? Because I'm going to break it down. If I find out the only reason they like Cam Newton more is because Cam Newton literally decided that he's just going to end his career early by doing front flips into the end zone. Like that's the only thing I can think of, because I promise Jalen Hurts has lots of 5+, 10+, 15+ yard runs that are very effective. Sure, he doesn't look as good. Jalen Hurts is 6 foot, 6'1". Cam Newton is
a house.
Yeah,
a house.
6'5", 250.
He's a mansion. He is a crib. Like that's not. He was Megatron at quarterback. Like I think he just looks cooler. That's the point I'm getting to. Also, he had He had a signature cleat, which I think Jalen might be getting one soon. Jordan
They said
Brand
Luka-
really, really likes him.
I saw Luca and LeBron are collabing on a shoe.
How's that possible?
Don't know.
That can't be
But-
possible. Luka's a Jordan athlete.
Apparently, Luca and LeBron want to collab on a shoe.
But Jordan is owned by Nike, so if they wanted to do something, maybe.
Maybe. Well, if that's the case, can we get like a KD Tatum collab? That'd be tough.
Yeah,
I guess both KD could do that. Well, they're both actually Nike, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think the one thing. Are you telling me that Cam Newton is beating Jalen Hurts in the Aura conversation? You said
No shot.
Cam Newton, is he beating Jalen Hurts in Aura? I think he has to.
He low key is. It's
Not
just
with the
Jalen's
hair.
more-
I wouldn't even say
Jalen-
low key. I think he just is. I think he just
Jalen
is.
is more calm.
Cam
Cam Newton
Newton,
he
his-
lost the aura when he had the French fry hair.
No,
I don't think
that
so.
adds to the aura. The
No,
dreads.
I think what made
out the hat.
Cam's Aura
Yeah.
the quarter sleeve with the wristbands and the back plate out, platinum in 2015 all across the country. Every quarterback wanted to
Yeah.
dress that way.
He did. How about the
Yeah, bro, he was in the photo.
And on top of that, he told that boy
man.
in the game. He said, "Hey, I see you've been watching film. That's nice. Watch this.
He told Clay Matthews,
That
watch this. It's
And then-
crazy.
special."
I mean, his running back with him, running mate, been doing it a long time. Chris McCaffrey.
I think that was baby McCaffrey. That might have been McCaffrey's rookie year.
It
I
was.
think he only had McCaffrey once. I think
That's so crazy. He was on
They
like
could have grew together.
the Panthers had those two, and they just couldn't get
Ted
him.
Ginn.
Yeah,
Really
he was deaf throwing the Devin Funches though.
He was, and that's why I give Cam Newton so much love, bro. Because like I've watched Lamar throw to Willie Snead, and not Saints Willie Snead. We're talking about Ravens Willie.
It's like
Snead.
I get it, you know. I get
Yeah,
it.
I get
I
it.
watch Carson throw a game-winning touchdown to
Greg
Greg
Ward.
Ward, bro. I really get it. But what all those guys
God.
did have, at the very least, all those guys had a really good tight end. Ertz, Andrews, Olsen.
Olsen was special.
Can't-
Special.
Come on, that's G Reg.
Thanks.
Yo, chill. You know what
Yeah,
you're talking
we're
about.
getting way off topic with it though. That's everything we have for you guys today. Again, we're getting the jump on the Super Bowl preview, of course. Later in the week, we're talking NBA trade deadline. We're talking your NBA questions. We're talking the biggest trade in NBA history. Hopefully, there's more information about it. Hopefully, Nico Harrison can explain why he couldn't afford Ozempic for Luka. And we'll see by then if Jason Kidd has or has not put his hands on Nico Harrison and why it will be completely warranted. You didn't consult with your coach, are you? Okay, I'm sorry.
You know why he didn't consult with him? Because he said, "I already know what we're thinking. I don't have to talk to him." He said that in front of cameras, in front of people. He said that exact line in front.
He
of
said, "I
people.
knew I didn't have to talk." Dude, his only consultant was the man in the mirror. But it's
He
crazy.
said we talk archetypes, so I knew what type of archetype. Yeah, you knew your coach wanted a guy who a 7 foot who can play defense and is athletic. Oh, I'm so surprised. Dude, get Nico Harris out of my league, bro. Get him out of my league.
For real. It could be worse. See, they're overshadowing how horrible the Bulls are, and I don't like it.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remind people, like, do you understand that y'all waited 2 years too late to trade Zach LaVine, and now all you did was make the Kings, the Chicago Kings, with a better Vucevic? Are you joking?
Yo, Mr. Kidd is going to get sent to away from that team, and then they're going to get Darvin Ham to go coach them as a punishment.
Oh, dude.
Unfortunately, Darvin Ham has to take over for Doc Rivers when they fire him because that boy was blitzing Luke Kennard yesterday as a point guard. He was blitzing him. He was blitzing him yesterday. I want y'all to know that. That happened.
Blitzing Luke Kennard in the big 2025.
In the huge 2025.
I don't know if blitzing him was ever okay.
While Jaren Jackson had 40. He
balled. He
Nice.
balled.
No, that's what I'm saying. He had 40, but he wanted to blitz Luke Kennard. Get him out of my league.
But from AP New Freezer, cultured by Migos DC Comics. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys on Thursday.